Rochelle Levins, Ocean Red Road, Bristol. I'd like to piggyback on Elizabeth Balin's remarks and this gentleman saying, like the coolness of back in the 60s. I lived in the 60s. I was a huge shopper downtown. You couldn't get a parking spot downtown, even when the strip was already there. So I don't think it was cool to drive down, go down to Route 6 and shop, because it was much nicer, because we had wonderful shops in downtown Bristol. We had character. My greatest fear is that the new plans for Depot Square are going to totally ruin our downtown beauty. It'll never come back if you put 5-story, 4-story buildings that jut straight up with like Fairfield Inn and Suites type structures. I mean, it's got to mirror what we have. This gentleman also mentioned that we have to keep our character. We're not going to keep our character with buildings like that. I think we need people like this commission to really keep an eye on it. It's not that we mind having young people. I love young people. I think they're great. And I think there's a real need, and we do want to attract them. But let's attract them and keep a close handle on what's allowed to be built there. I mean, it's not what it is, it's what it looks like. And right now the plan, in my opinion, is just not Bristol. And it's not what I want for Bristol. Would Simsbury let that go into their downtown? Would Granby? Would Farmington? No. Well, are we any less of a community than they are? I don't think so. And for a long time, the designs of our building have been horrible looking. I've always said we needed a big plan for the town, for structures. Because if you drive through Farmington, Avon, they always have these beautiful Williamsburg type buildings. Like George Carpenter built a beautiful building in our downtown. Why would we have a beautiful building like that, and then we have that modernistic thing that's right next door to it, and then we have across the street a church that looks like a mansard roof, and then now we're going to build Fairfield Inn and Suites and massive, without any retail to even speak of downtown. I mean, you guys need to keep a close eye on this. You can't let this happen to us. You just can't let it happen to us. I mean, I'm older, so I'm probably never going to feel, but I want to leave something and not go to my grave saying, I didn't fight for what I loved about Bristol. And Bristol is a really good community full of really good people. But we've really gotten shortchanged because our image outside of Bristol is not what it should be. It's not what we are. So, I mean, we need serious work. This affects me very deeply, and I think you understand that. Memorial Boulevard, Ellen's doing a phenomenal job with Memorial Boulevard School. I've been seeing projected high costs out there. Well, maybe they're not going to be as bad as they're looking right now. Maybe we can step back and maybe we can do it, not be as grandiose in the beginning, and maybe we can still make it happen, making other people excited about it and not saying, well, that's a huge price tag. But if we can certainly build a firehouse at that price tag, we can certainly have a cultural center for that price tag. So that's all I have to say. I'm just begging that you keep a really close eye, because I think fundamentally that and what happens in the West End and that Park Street area, we're getting a new ball club up there. Hopefully that's the beginning of something great. Something long past due that should have been done in a previous administration is now happening. But we lost a lot in the interim years because that administration didn't know what they were doing. And I mean, we have to keep our minds open. We have to respect all age groups, not just ours, not just the young. We have to come together. But we need a strong, strong hand on what design goes on Depot Square.